Woo!
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean, we can't be the number one. The number one is another one.
that does seem to fit the bill. I'd like
Yeah,
to I'd like to think that we're like by far less like on topic. Ooh, word.
hi, and I'm doing fine. Oh, I think we are coming from his home cinema, where he's showing a double feature of Space Odyssey.
Nice.
Space Odyssey. It's a TV series, I believe.
Um,
I could be wrong. There was a a cartoon TV show about the not Odysseus. No, yes, it was Odysseus. Odysseus in space. It was Odyssey. Yeah,
I'm fascinated by this. I am also not very familiar with this. Yeah, that's the one that I
uh,
was thinking. Stanley Kubrick.
it's called Space Legend Ulysses 31.
Okay, I need to look this
Apparently,
up now.
the international one.
Space Legend.
Uh,
I actually haven't even seen 2001: Space Odyssey, to be honest. Yeah, well, yeah, it's Stanley Kubrick.
uh, I've seen the 21, but not the 2010. I mean, it's entirely possible that I've seen 2010 and don't remember it. I mean I mean, this movie is almost as old as me. Yeah, 84.
Do either of you guys ever feel disappointed whenever like there's an old sci-fi movie where like in 2010 things are gonna be futuristic and then you're like, oh, we barely had iPhones. Like this is terrible. I will I will say I had the sort of similar kind of sentiment, I guess, when they were doing the when I was playing Cyberpunk 2077, because like they do these like flashbacks. to one of the characters, like that was like 50 years before the present. And it's like that's 2027. That's like in like 5 years, and we are nowhere close to this sort of cyberpunk reality, other than like the whole like corporations kind of ruling everything.
Yeah,
Yay!
Shadowrun is the magic type cyberpunk role playing game where you have the cyberpunk. It's an offshoot. Let's not get into that. But they have cell phones in 2050 that weigh 2 pound. Yeah, 2 pounds, and based on the old brick phones from the 80s. And in the rule book, they said it was listed as 1 kilogram weight for the phone, for the cell phone. Yeah,
Because
that's
when I
where.
play role playing games, I love to have to balance sheet out my weight.
Yeah, I mean, if the role playing game is about playing robbers, breaking and entering into big high tech facilities, you actually want to know how much shit your people can carry out.
Hello.
Hey,
Yeah, man. Been been in Arizona land. Yeah, unfortunately. And having been there for work so often now, I don't think I would go there for leisure. There's really nothing to do out there.
I just wa- I just wanted to ask if you really wanted to go to Arizona for leisure.
Yeah, and no offense to anybody watching that's from Phoenix. It's a shithole. I have no interest in I have no interest in ever coming back here. That isn't work related, and I don't really want to be doing it for that either. So I'm on a basically a rotation, so I'm there for 2 weeks, and then I come home for a week, and then I'm there for 2 weeks. I've been home like 3 weeks this year.
Oof.
Um, no. You
I can hear
are
you.
in Discord, not on YouTube. Apparently.
Is it not coming in on?
Nice. Okay. Is that better? Can you hear me now, Edge? Wow. How long have we been? Wow. Okay. We've been going for a good 15 minutes now with no audio. Okay, I should have audio now. I don't know how that happened. My computer is a wondrous thing where every time I boot it up, it's like, your microphone is a speaker. It's like, no, I assure you that's a microphone. Like, no, it's a speaker. You want your audio to come out of your microphone, right? It's like, no, it's a speaker, guys. I mean, it's an, oh, fuck, whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, I made sure to check the Discord audio levels in my streamer. I did not check my own mic levels in my streamer. So this has been a really weird stream for anyone in YouTube land. Hello, Dwarfenage. Hello, Tom Wilson. Hello, James Mahood. Hello, Diana. I said hi to all you guys before I had audio. And wow. Okay, that must be a weird situation. So this is in case you didn't guess it from the fact that I haven't had any audio this whole time. This is the number 2 Tyranid shit show on the internet. If this was the number 1 Tyranid shit show on the internet, there would be no audio. No one would have audio. But we're number 2, so we kind of function sometimes. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is used to be called the North American stream. Now it's just called Work in Progress Wednesday. I'm joined by Kajan and Will, who have already said, or Kajan and TacticalDbag, who have already said hi. DarthBob, you want to say good evening to folks? Are you guys still there? God damn it. What is my life? Will, Kajan, DarthBob, coming in. Anything. Now I can see you talking, but I can't hear you talking. What a wondrous life we live. Okay, try saying something now. Hold on a sec. The heck? Got the right thing. Oh, okay. Try saying something now. DarthBob is talking and we cannot. No, wait. Oh. Try this.
We had a fifth
Oh,
member
excuse
here
me?
around as well.
Okay, now I
Yeah.
can hear you guys. And now we can. Okay.
Yay!
All right.
Is it?
Serves me
Plus,
right for
pretty
trying to
good.
do this the fancy way. I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way and hope there's not too much feedback. Putting you guys through the speakers because it's what works right now. Are you there?
Yep.
Okay. I think we're all coming through now, finally. Only like 20 minutes into the stream. 10 minutes in the
That's pretty
stream?
good.
No idea.
The sad thing about this is when we started, I listened into the stream, I heard myself talking and concluded everything was fine.
Oh my.
If it's any consolation, Kajan, that's sort of how I operate with like my life in general. It's like, well, I can hear myself talking, so everything must be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody say
Mr.
hello. TacticalDbag, want to say good evening?
Good evening, everybody. Hi, YouTube.
Kajan, want to say good evening?
Hi, YouTube.
Thank you. And DarthBob, want to say good evening?
Good evening.
Good evening. All right, we're all here. We've all got audio. I think. So adjust people's audio
Hopefully.
in Discord.
And we've been joined by Dan Keplinger.
Oh, hey, Dan Kaplinger. Welcome, dude.
Wow, we got 11 people watching tonight. It's a popular
Yeah.
Wednesday.
I think
The work in
everyone's
progress
curious.
streams are catching on. Everybody wants our completely off topic, nobody working on anything except Nick random talking about TV show streams.
Listen. I'm trying to work on some stuff here. I got some green stuff mixed up, man. It's gonna happen.
Well, I have some cool stuff to show off. I've been working on buying things.
Working
things is
on
like
buying
work.
things.
I think he is not happy about Flynn getting his what was it, Jammy Bastard back on his birthday stream.
Oh yeah,
No, I think I told Flynn that he still is not competing with DarthBob for Jammy Bastard title.
Oh, so like what? I missed that stream and I haven't watched the VOD yet. What was the big reveal?
I think you have to
Flynn was
watch
talking
to
about?
find out.
Oh, see what he did there?
Damn. All right.
Certain people got ambushed on stream. I mean, it's starting to become a tradition.
All right. Well, I will continue to try and retain my title for Jammy Bastard here tonight.
I'm pretty sure I said that you're still the jammiest bastard, that Flynn still got some catching up to do.
Is there any way you could share my my screen on the stream?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Before I do that, I wanted to show something because it's taking up way too much. Sorry, my watch is being. Okay. Okay, I'll get to this in a second. So I was digging through some old boxes today, and I came across these lovely boys, who were back in 2000 and the heck was it? 2009. Before I moved to Japan, we did for like one of the final Games Day Torontos. Oh, this guy lost an arm. I didn't even realize it. We did a Tyran board. So for that, we asked people to convert current edition Tyranids to look like second edition Tyranids, and that's where I did my Screamer Killer dude using the talons that Box sculpted. But someone else, I can't remember who did these, and I feel like a jerk, did second edition Warriors using third edition parts.
Oh, that's cool.
Which was pretty cool. Taking the bone swords, flipping them around, the scything talons, flipping them around, making bone swords, because I think we had bone swords in the codex then, but we didn't have models for them yet. And then for the legs, it's a standard Tyranid warrior leg. Here, let's get in there. Where's the focus? There's the focus. So it's a standard tier warrior leg up here to here, and then 3rd edition plastic scything talon forearm here, which is a great bit for a leg. And then at the back, we got warrior carapace, sculpted bit, warrior tail, and then a ripper shoved on the end. Because if you remember the 2nd edition warriors, they had that kind of like weird curl around tail underneath. I think some of these curl more.
That's clever.
I don't know.
That's a good use of the ripper.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can't unsee the Ripper now.
Sorry. And then, so the bone swords are really cool. It's just flipped around sighting talons, which is a neat solution. They've got gaunt heads because that was closer to the kind of anti-heads that warriors had back then. They have Gene Sealer rending claws on them because they had bone swords and rending claws and an extra torso section added in here. So yeah, these were pretty neat. And I forgot that I had held on to these guys. I was looking for something entirely different, but I pulled them out because I thought they were cool and I felt like they should be on display somewhere. They're painted very hastily because I think that these were some of the models that were painted by me, Hydra, and Marco in a mad dash just before Games Day because we were not that organized. So yeah, they're barely painted. They're like 3-color painted, and then that's it.
What's the center breast chest piece from?
Center. It's sculpted.
Oh,
it's putty.
Okay.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like it was pressed off of the like crotch area, I guess.
It may have been press molded. You're right. I don't know. I think it's sculpted. Because the back carapace plates are definitely sculpted.
It's all fun and games until the high fleets start using rippers as butt plugs.
There you go. They left the ripper arms on. I guess that would have been a lot to take off. Yeah, these guys are really cool. So I got to go put them in my display case.
Yeah, I do like these a lot.
It's a great idea.
All right.
I really love the use of the sighting talon forearms for the legs.
So let's see if we can pull in.
That was like,
and like just as a comparison, like this warrior is kind of bent over, but he's pretty much like normal warrior stature. And these dudes, like that's not even a tall one. Let's get a tall one. These dudes like tower over him. So like very much like the 2nd edition anti-warriors who stood very tall. The big boys.
Yeah, they're very cool.
Yeah. All right. DarthBob has something to share with the class. Let's see. Good video.
Looks like Mr. Will might be doing some drawings as well if you wanted to pull him.
Oh,
in
yeah,
as well.
Will, nice.
Tom Wilson is asking why they are red.
Oh, because we were doing the Tyran table, which was the first time that Tyranids were ever. That's a really good question, Tom Wilson. It was the first time that Tyranids were ever encountered in the Imperium, and technically it was High Fleet Behemoth. Though in the 2nd edition Codex, of course, High Fleet Behemoth didn't really have a unique color scheme. It was just like all those weird colors that they painted Tyranids in the 2nd edition Codex. So yeah, we took the Games Workshop subsequently defined Games Workshop subsequently designed a scheme, a unique scheme for Behemoth. That was the one that we used, and it's the red and red skin and kind of like tealy back bits. Or, sorry, tealy carapace bits. So yeah, that's where we got our color scheme from. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out my video.
I think Tyler.
So go ahead, DarthBob. You got a thing there?
Yeah. So I was on my favorite place to obtain rare models, Facebook, and came across a guy who's actually one of the managers for the original Games Workshop headquarters here in the States. And he was selling...
in Baltimore?
Yeah.
Cool.
So he happened to be selling off a bunch of stuff from his collection, and he had a very rare little model from Forge World that I've been looking for a while, and I was delighted to see that it was new in packaging. It is the Best Boy, the Forge World Hormigaunt
Oh
bus.
dang!
Oh wow.
Oh dang!
And honestly, I'll have to take some pictures of it later, but pictures really don't do this thing justice in terms of the detailing.
Is that
It's
the
like,
real deal? Because it looks it like the resin doesn't look the right color.
yeah, it is. It's like it's got the original packaging with the little gift box.
Maybe that's just old resin.
Yeah, so Games Workshop or Forge World used to be pretty like eclectic with the different types of resin they would use.
Yeah.
So for the bus, they used this almost like it was like a white resin. It was lighter. It's very similar to the resin they used. I don't know if they still use it, but it was the one they used to use for the Hierophant's main body
Okay.
because it was a lighter kind of resin.
Yeah.
But I really like a lot of the detailing on this. Something that they don't have on a lot of the or any of the current Hormigauts. They got this kind of like he's got these kind of I don't know what you'd call it, like membranes on the carapace on his shoulders and the
Oh,
middle
nice.
back. It's really
Mhm.
interesting.
Beautiful. Great find.
Yeah. So I
And
got
is that
that.
I'm assuming that guy's really hard to find otherwise?
Yeah, I haven't seen one like new in the packaging in a while, and I don't even think really the recasters have gotten to it because I haven't even seen like really cheap recasts of it on eBay anywhere.
Yeah, well, it's very old. I think it probably went out of production a long time.
Yeah, I don't think the busts were very popular, so a lot of the busts are pretty hard to find. I think the only like statue bust that's kind of like readily available is the Space Marine one because they sold it for so long. It was like
Yeah.
available like up until fairly recently. And then the other thing I got, one
Oh,
sec, I
what?
gotta, yeah,
There's
I
Ooh,
got one
double
more?
other,
jamminess.
there's one more jammy, and I think you are going to like this one, Mr. Neck, because this is probably going to take you back. I gotta pull it out of the package so I don't dox myself. Because it just
Yeah,
got me,
definitely don't dox yourself.
courtesy of our favorite man, Mr. Jason Lai.
Jason being the guy with all the fan casts, right?
Yes, sir.
What that we
So,
swear we're gonna hand out one day. One
yes,
day we're gonna
I've
have
got the box literally across from me.
one day we're
So this
finally
is
gonna have a
actually,
mid-November giveaway prize stream for people
oh,
who
there's two things in here. This is the first time I've opened the box, so this is going to be a reveal for both of us, or for all of us. So let's see what we got. Oh, it's multiple pieces.
It's
Interesting.
so itty bitty.
So it might be hard to tell because of my horrible webcam quality. But Mr. Pink, you may
it wasn't that
remember.
bad when you got close. Sorry, what?
You may remember Mr. Pedro Navarra, who
Of course.
did that collection of Gene Stealer models based on like
Okay,
different
so
alien
listen,
species.
when you're talking about that collection of Gene Stealer models, that was called the Geno Project. I have
Mhm,
one of the originals right here, the Eldar Gene Stealer that I
mhm.
converted. Yeah, so Pedro went a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and was like, I'm gonna make 1,000 Gene Stealers. Whereas we were like, yeah, let's experiment with like an Eldar one and like an Orc one. He's like, why don't we make a shark? Why don't we make a tarantula? It's like, okay, buddy. So yes, I'm very familiar with the Geno Project.
Well, I was not aware that this happened, but apparently he sent off the original green of the Tau Gene Stealer to be
What?
cast into
Wait,
minis, and so this is a
did he
cast
do that with
of the
Trollforge?
original. I think he may have. I think
It's
that's accurate because I think I saw
it
an
tickles
article
something in
with
my
it.
mind to do with Trollforge. You may have said it to Ed Forte to do it, but this guy wound up with it.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, there was a small run of them. So this is the the Tau Gene Stealer. I guess I got to put them together
Oh, that's cool.
to
Cheeky
really
bugger. I didn't know he got
show
that
them
thing
off.
cast. Or I might have known. I forgot if I ever
That's
knew.
creepy and like nicely elongated.
Yeah, his Tau Gene Stealer was really cool.
Let me see if I can
I wonder
grab
if you
some
can
blue
still find
tack, see if
pictures
I
of
can
that
put them
online.
together. Here, let me grab some blue tack, see if I can put them together.
I'm assuming this is Navarro Bugman.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So
yeah,
Navarro had a I guess we could ask him because he is on Instagram. He had a website called Buglands, but I think it's maybe long gone. Might be able to find it in Wayback Machine, but other than that, I don't know.
He shows up on stream every once in a while.
He does.
I think he tends to show up for the European stream.
I think he's
Right.
in Spain, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh man, I used to follow his stuff on the back in the old DACA days, and I still remember that Reaver Titan of his that he was like sprucing up with all of the green stuff. And
Is
at
that the
that
Eldar
time,
one?
yeah,
No.
yeah, it was like the Eldar Knight.
Oh yeah,
Reaver.
the Phantom
Yeah,
Titan. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool.
he just like filled up every square inch of the surface area, which was
With, like
like
flowers and
detailing.
stuff.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and I just remember at the time going like, "That's ridiculous! I can't believe anybody's using that much green stuff." And then now I'm looking
Yeah,
at
Navarro
looking
is
over to the
super
left.
talented. If you look him up on YouTube, he's or not on YouTube, sorry, on Instagram. He's still doing a lot of custom sculpts and stuff.
So I don't think I'm going to be able to fit all 4 arms on there because it's a little fiddly, but I should be able to get the front arms and the head on. Although I'm not sure Gene Stealers really thought it through using such a weak, physically weak stock for hybrids.
Well, the plan was to do a hybrid for every race in 40K, even if they
Oh no, I think it's
didn't
great
make a lot of
regardless.
combat sense.
So
Now I kind of want to see the rattling Steeler.
you have. He's called a familiar.
Nice.
there you go. He's kind of in focus there.
Oh, dang. I really like that, man. Should have gotten one of those. Wonder if Navarro's got casts kicking around. He might.
He might. I know. I think so. I think he's. I'm not sure it was Pedro himself who cast it. I know he's
No,
because
it
I
was
was
probably
talking
Ed
to
Forte. It
Jason.
was probably Trollforge.
Yeah, I think because I was talking to Jason. He said he knows the guy who has the original molds for this, and I think he had been trying to convince him to do another run of it, but recently he had some kind of family tragedy, and so he's like not really in the game for doing it at the moment.
Okay, I
But
hope
he
that's
said
not Ed, because if Ed had a family tragedy, that's not great. Well, I don't hope anyone had a family tragedy, but hopefully that's
right.
not our old friend Ed. Can you ask the guy? Can you ask Jason if
Yeah,
it's
let
Ed
me.
Forte or if it's because someone else bought Ed's he had his own like website, Trollforge Miniatures,
Mhm.
but he was doing this very early. Like this was like I think this might have even been pre-Chapter House. He was doing this. So there wasn't I don't know that there was as much of a market for 3D for third-party minis.
Mhm.
Certainly like the uh internet ecosystem was not what it is today for like selling third-party stuff.
Yeah.
So I think he tried to do an early like miniature Kickstarter before that was a really big thing. And it didn't go as well as he'd hoped, I think. And I thought he got out of the business and sold all his molds and his miniatures to another company that I can't
Mhm.
remember. We were talking about this on another stream recently.
I know wasn't there also some drama with like wasn't he doing the casting for Redbox Games? And there was like a lot of there's a
I don't
lot
know
of
that.
delays with the casting and it caused a bunch of problems with the Redbox Kickstarter fulfillment.
Could have
Because like
been.
Ed was like basically doing it out of his garage and like he
Yeah,
couldn't
as he
keep up with
did.
the demand.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know that he had his own Kickstarter and Marco backed it. And Marco was a bit disappointed with like delays and stuff for it.
Hmm.
So that could have been the case. I don't know Redbox Games. That doesn't ring a bell, but I do remember something about Ed Kickstarter casting being a bit delayed, which sucks because like Ed was like super kind dude, super like supportive of like the Tyranid community. He was very active on Warp Shadow. Like someone like Pedro Navarro or someone like Bits a Box would be like, "Hey, I'm gonna cast this cool Tyranid," and Ed would be like, "Hey, I'll cast that up." Or no, sorry, Bits a Box would be like, "I'm gonna sculpt this cool like alternate Zoanthrope," and then it was Ed who was casting them for the community
Hmm.
and selling them at like a very cheap price.
So the guy's name that cast them is a guy named Mark. So it was
Okay,
not. It
not
was
Ed.
not our buddy from.
May have been the guy who bought stuff from Ed.
Yeah, possibly. But very, very cool. Very big. I wasn't expecting it to be as big as it is. He's like as tall as a Tyranid warrior.
Whoa, nice, really nice piece. And it takes me
Take
back.
take that, Flynn.
Yeah, where's your Tauji and Siller, Flynn? There
So
you go,
I
a little bit
was.
of random Tyranid history.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Is that all you got in your magic box?
That's all that's in the magic box. Oh, I did also get the power loader Sentinel, the
Oh,
Forge World
nice.
power loader.
Oh, wicked.
This power lifter.
Great.
Of course, I'm gonna paint it yellow and have it
Oh,
fighting a
obvious.
Of
Tyranid.
course. As one does.
Like are you gonna have it fighting the metal 3rd edition Mark Bedford Tyrant?
Oh, better.
Amazing.
I've got the Forge World Hive Tyrant, so I'm gonna have it
Ooh,
fighting that.
Oh,
nice.
that works. That's an even nicer version of that Hive Tyrant.
Yep.
Well, that Hive Tyrant was pretty bad. That's the nice version.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
I like everything but the face.
Yeah,
Those
it was okay.
the feet and legs of that model are underappreciated.
I agree. I've seen
They're pretty
the
good.
pieces used for conversions. I think it's a really great conversion fodder model.
Agreed.
All right, so I am actually going to work on some stuff tonight as well.
Kajan, are you still out there, man?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good.
I just don't have anything to add right now.
Okay. What's going on in the chat?
Chat's been talking about the. Tom Wilson said the Hello resin was going to be a lightweight resin with bubbles on the inside to keep the weight and cost down. As far as I know, it never happened. Dwarven Edge said, "Where you are, LeBron Flynn, LeBaron Flynn." And I said, at this point, we would like to issue the statement that any rumors of a competition between the Creature Conference and Work in Progress Wednesday host is greatly exaggerated.
Yeah, because there is no competition.
Oh. I was gonna say Flynn can try, but DarthBob's got a whole museum going there, so be tough.
I thought Flynn also has a museum going.
Tough sledding. Yeah, but oh no, sorry. DarthBob has an art gallery.
Wasn't that like Mark Gibbons Carnifex that went on sale like relatively recently?
Yeah,
Gibbons?
I was very, very tempted, but I didn't. I was not the winner of that bid.
The
Didn't it
price
go for
point.
like 2,000?
Ah,
Go
if
ahead.
it went for 2,000, I would have bought it. It was 6,000.
No,
Ooh, that's a spicy
no.
meatball.
I thought it was 2,000 pounds.
No, it was more than that. I'm pretty sure. Hold
my.
on, I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can find the listing.
So for anyone who missed it, this is the original sketch of the Screamer Killer, black and white, from the 2nd edition codex. It could well have been from something before that.
No, it sold for 5,500 pounds.
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that piece of artwork. I don't think I like it 5,500 pounds.
Yeah,
Well,
if
it
it
is
had
the Mona
stayed under
Lisa.
2,500, I probably would have thrown money at it. But I'm happy with one Mark Gibbons piece. One
Don't you have
Mark
the
Gibbons.
lictor?
Yeah, I have the lictor, which makes me
Nice.
That's a
wonder if
pretty
I put
iconic
the
one.
lictor on eBay, how much it would sell for. But I would never do that. I love it too
No,
much.
because you have to leave it to me in your will.
Right.
No, that's a good one. That lictor's beautiful. I mean,
Yeah,
not
it's one of my
probably not as
favorite
famous as the
pieces.
Screamer Killer, but
Well, I'm gonna keep working on the Wendigo.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
What are you working on there, Will?
Uh, honestly, I've like been sort of in a like hobby funk of late, so I haven't like actively been working on like minis. But I figured out my sketchbook here, and then like your talk of the that like nice retro converted second edition warrior kind of inspired me to kind of doodle a little bit of like my take on the second edition or like the Rogue Trader era warrior for a little bit. So I'm
Nice.
doodling a little bit. Although I'm looking at the YouTube feed, and boy, that is some potato quality video that's coming up from my.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with your cam there. But
It's kind of weird too, because I'm looking at the Discord feed. The Discord feed looks fine. Just looking at the YouTube feed, like
really?
I mean, maybe it's
Because
because
I'm
like
pulling it
it's
from
on my.
Discord.
Yeah, but it's probably about the encoding of the stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
It's also the case that I don't pull my video through YouTube, like or Discord or whatever. I'm pulling it natively, so my video is obviously fancy looking.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some water.
Sure. Kajan, are you working on anything, or are you being dutiful and monitoring the chat?
I'm being dutiful and monitoring the chat, so I'm
Good
not.
man, not like that slacker Flynnhammer.
Well,
Hey Flynn, what's going on in the chat? Oh, I don't know. I was working on a giant.
Flynn's got his like all his giants and all his original
Jam.
Tyranid models and his
If
wish.
anyone else like DarthBob wants to know about how Flynnhammer tried to be the jammiest bastard of them all, you can it's the Flynnhammer takeover stream. I think it was the last creature conference, last live stream before this one. It's very rambly. It's a candidate for a work in progress Wednesday stream because it's so rambly, but I believe the jamminess comes in the second half, probably very close to the end. You want to skip ahead?
What you working on there, Mr. Pink?
So I'm trying to finish what I've started. I have a bunch of Tyranid models that are like almost done. They just need like a couple of small hits of green stuff to finish them off. I was hoping to fire through a couple of those tonight. This one is a Death Spitter warrior, hopefully for kill team, that I did in the style of my Venom Cannon dude, where I want my ranged warriors to look different from like close combat warriors, and to be kind of evolving to have their guns. Oh crap! I'm sticking my finger in something else I sculpted. Of course, evolving to have their guns kind of like pulling up towards their heads, and kind of like all the arms like melding together, and eventually like their face melding into the side of the gun. That hasn't happened to this guy yet, but yeah, Tyranids are supposed to evolve to their like purpose, and it doesn't really make sense to me that Tyranids that are exclusively shooting stuff just carry their guns around slung low and have equal combat arms. So this guy he's got the asymmetrical gun loadout, which I like, which I also did on Mr. Tyrant Boy here. Mr. Tyrant Boy here to draw back to or call back to the second edition Hive Tyrant. He's got both his gun arms on one side. Yeah, so he's doing that. And then also, if you look on his other side, he's got a Scything Talon, and this is a Gene Sealer Scything Talon and another smaller arm. So this is a smaller, more atrophied arm than the standard warrior scything talon arm, just to
Nice.
show that though he still has the combat ability, it's reduced because his body is evolving towards ranged combat.
I
So,
have returned.
so what's the markings for?
Oh, the markings are to remind myself where I need to put putty. Because what I'll do is I'll like pick up one of these models and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got a couple of small places that I need to like fill in on the model. And then I put the model down and I go to another model and I look at it. I'm like, whoa, where was I supposed to put putty again? So this is like, there's like a gap here that I want to fill a bit with putty. I want to kind of like fill in around the arm here. I want to like, this arm is kind of tacked on in a weird way. I want to add a little bit to the top. There was marking on his gun where I had to fill it in, marking on his tail. So that's something that I literally just started doing with the pen. Because I got a bunch of stuff here that needs to be like this guy, the Standigaunt needs his armor plates filled in. And like some putty on his foot. Yeah.
That's actually a rather clever way of keeping track of what you need.
Well, yeah, because you put putty on it, and you either putty over it, or you're just going to prime over it. And it's just Sharpie, so I think it'll prime just fine.
Tom Wilson asks if Flynn is indeed Jamie, and if you have agreed to build him the dom.
Spoilers.
Uh-oh.
It's more
Another
about
dom
Archery.
on the horizon.
Well, we'll see. That's what Flinhammer ambushed me with in that stream.
Ah.
Although he didn't tell you the whole story. You should see the rest of the story. You can
Yeah, I
skip to
was
the
watching.
end. It's
I was trying to watch some of the VODs while I was in Phoenix when I'm back in the hotel. I just haven't quite caught up to that one yet.
Well, you can skip to the end because
Okay.
it's kind of like halfway through towards the end. That stream is rather random, rather rambly, but the challenge, the ambush comes towards the end.
Uh-oh.
It pretty much ends on the ambush.
Oh, does it? Oh, good. Okay, there you go. Get right to the end.
I have watched all the work in progress Wednesdays with the working on the.
Of course, because
on
you're
the
awesome.
dragon.
Oh, that's why. I thought it's because you love us, even though you can't
Well,
be
that
here
too.
with us, and you.
I can get to get to
But
pretend
he
that I'm part of
especially
it.
loves the dragon.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a vested interest.
Yep.
And Eric likes the idea with the markings.
Nice. Yeah. It's just literally just tried it out, but it's working for me. It's a helpful reminder. Just get like a fine Sharpie and mark it up. You can quickly go back later and see where you're supposed to be working.
Nick, what webcam are you using? Because you have such crisp quality.
I think we talked about this before. It's not a webcam.
Oh, is it not?
It's a Nikon Z30.
Oh.
It's a mirrorless Nikon camera.
Oh, okay, so you get fancy.
So
with
it's
it.
kind of expensive for a webcam, but if you also
Correct.
do photography like I do, and you have interest in recording video, not just for webcam purposes, you can use it as a webcam.
Hmm.
I was not in the market for one until I got one for my employer. They wanted a recommendation for a camera that anyone could use in the office, so I didn't want to get one that was too complicated, but I also used it as a selfish opportunity to explore Nikon's mirrorless offerings, because I hadn't really done that yet.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, so when I was experimenting with that and trying to figure it all out, I heard that it can be used as a webcam. So I started using that, trying it out as a webcam. It works so well that I decided to get one of these. So it's a cute little camera. It's supposed to be able to like connect. Well, it does connect wirelessly to your phone, so you can like shoot the pictures over. I've shot over videos to it as well. Like the video that I posted yesterday of the Swarm Sentinel, the 360. I shot that on this camera and then transferred it to my phone
Oh, that's pretty
wirelessly.
cool.
Yeah, but apparently you can like have your phone and be like live streaming video from this camera to your phone and your phone to the internet, but I haven't figured that out yet.
Huh.
But yeah, it works pretty nice. It's not too big, not too bulky. This one doesn't have a viewfinder. It's the smaller of the two, but it's still like in the realm of like $1,000 Canadian. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm just using a shitty Logitech. So
I had Logitech before, the 920S, whatever. Do you have that one?
uh I don't actually know what the model is.
And I did shoot some like how to sculpt videos on that, but I got a piece of software that let me set more kind of like manual settings on it, so I didn't have to
Mhm.
rely on the camera getting the right setting automatically,
Mhm.
which made it a little more useful. And you could set like manual focus on it and stuff like that. So that's what I used to use to stream.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I realized I didn't make the plates on the back of this guy wide enough, so like I'm kind of trying to extend them, but I'm trying not to make one side like farther like off the shoulder than the other side, so I'm like trying to figure out exactly how much putty I need.
Don't obsess too much. They're organic.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like
I'm
you
not
with your
I'm not
nails.
trying to get it perfectly even, but I don't want it to be like I just don't want to add too much putty and then it's like I've got too much to work with. And then I gotta like
Yeah.
rip it off
I
and
always do.
resculpt it.
I always put too much.
I think the nice thing is always that even if you over sculpt or over add the putty, you can always detract it
Yeah, that's
later with
true.
Yeah. Carve it
like
off, file it
if
off, cut it off.
it's kind of funny because my Facebook feed is like almost entirely like random like videos of people like making stuff because I've
Mm.
managed to delightfully curate my Facebook feed to just be
Good
weird
work.
craft stuff. I don't know how I did it, but like it's working. It's like food videos and like people making stuff, which is like, my jam. And like there's always those people who just start off with like gigantic block of like metal or wood and then they just lathe everything down and just make something amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, for whatever reason, the subtractive processing for making stuff is something that always eludes me. I'm always thinking in terms of like additive
Yep.
manipulation, but it's just like this is a
Yep.
perfectly viable strat. Again, it's that ridiculous picture that Valbjorn shared
Yes, I was
like
just thinking
last
of that.
week.
Tell people about that.
If y'all haven't seen Valbjorn or follow him on Instagram, A, you should. Man's insane, but B, like he did this he had like a couple of pictures of just like him just sculpting this small tiny like hunting knife for his ridiculous I think Space Wolves army. And like he's just like, oh yeah, this is what I did. It's like, and what he apparently did was he just rolled out some excess milliput or like whatever green stuff hybrid and then like into a roll and just carved it, whittled it down into the shape of a knife, and it looked amazing. It was like for the size of this thing, just spectacular. And B, it's just like, oh, he just cut it down from like a tube of excess putty. That makes a lot of sense. That's a lot easier than just trying to sculpt it, uh, wet putty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Valbjorn, like, I hope that when people see me making stuff, they're as blown away as I am by Valbjorn. Because I'm going to give you a little Valbjorn sculpting tutorial here. In fact, I don't even have the right lens for it because his crap is so small. But what he does is he gets this little bit of putty on his finger, on his fingernail, right? And then he gets his like freakishly small sculpting tool and he goes like this. See that freakishly small amount of putty? And then he gets his miniature and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna put a little wolf's tooth. I'm not even on the camera anymore. Where am I? He's like, yeah, I need to sculpt a little tiny wolf's tooth like right here. So I'm gonna take this putty and I'm gonna go like this and go like this. Little mark right there. Then I'm gonna go get an even tinier piece of putty. Little string. Oh yeah, little string. And then I'm gonna put this little string right here. And like it's honestly, I can't.
It's
convinced
incredible.
he
It
uses
really is.
I can't.
I'm convinced he uses a needle that he's like filed down.
I think he does. I think he does. He has like his own tools. I think he uses a needle. I can't be bothered. Like
I'm convinced
already,
he sold his soul to something. Some
no, I think
horrible
so.
ultra
Simon,
entity.
like
Right.
Hydra. One of the reasons that I love Hydra as a sculptor so much is that he. Oh, I gotta fix this. He sculpts much finer than I do, and like he
Mhm.
creates like really small like bits of green stuff, and he'll sculpt like really like. I do something and it's kind of bulky, and then Hydra does it and it's like really fine, and I'm like, oh man, super jealous. But Vjalbjorn is just like another level. Like I can't even bother. Like I don't know.
Like between him and Boris Wolosin.
Yes.
Like
Yes, that guy
I
is really talented.
I don't understand. Like I just look at their post and I'm like, well, I might as well just throw everything I'm working on in the trash right now.
Hey
I
man,
know that feeling.
No,
as
you just go,
somebody
if I
who's
wanted
not
it
good
that
as
good,
any
I'd
of the
just buy 'em
people
all.
being mentioned here, you gotta just work with what we got, and we'll get better eventually, right?
True.
Like I know these
Yeah, that's where I
plates
came
look like
from.
absolute garbage compared to Simon's or Mr. Pink's, but they're my garbage plates. So
Gotta start somewhere, man.
yeah, man.
Oh, do I have I thought I had I thought I dug out oh listen, gotta start somewhere. So I dug out my first ever Hive Tyrant that I ever painted. This is probably the first Tyranid that I ever painted. Or no, second, I think. I think my first Tyranid ever was a Termagant.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a sec.
Oh, nice.
There we go. So yeah, this was my I bought like a box of my mom bought me a box of Termagants. She bought me a Hive Tyrant, and I think she maybe bought me a Lictor. And this was my first ever conversion. I took this Hive Tyrant and I was like, what? He's only got one bone sword. That's lame. I want 2 bone swords. 2 bone swords is awesome. I took this warrior bone sword, I stuck some glue on it, and I shoved it right there. No pin, no green stuff,
The metal
no
model.
nothing. Just glued it right there.
Just a hope and a dream, man. Hope and a dream.
Snapped off. What do you know? My first ever conversion.
No
1997.
pin, and I just did it, and then it snapped off.
Listen, and then I learned about pinning. I was like, oh, my dad has a drill press. I can pin this Hive Tyrant.
Drill press?
And I tried to pin into his. I don't even know where his legs are. I don't know where I put his legs. I've got a bunch of pewter
I think you might have
Tyranids in a
drill
box.
pressed it to death.
Yeah, I think
I tried to drill press. I had a very fine bit, and I drilled it into his legs, and I snapped the bit right off because you're not supposed to pin a model with a drill press.
No.
So yeah, you got to start somewhere. Look at this. This is where my painting started.
No,
It's actually really not horrible.
I'm gonna
You
dig
got highlights
through,
on there.
I'm gonna
Yeah, but
dig
they're
through
just
my
white.
old bit spin and see if I can find like my oldest like conversions.
You know
Someone,
what? I'll be right back. I
we-
think I have my first ever painted model.
While
Nice.
we are going down
Thank you.
memory
Yes.
lane,
Chat. What's up?
Chat, Tyler Blevins asks a few minutes late, but dwelling on the chat from earlier, I like the idea of the marks. I'm curious if folks use journal to keep track of progress. So
Use a journal?
yeah.
I think the journals are super helpful for paint recipes because I will paint for like a few weeks and then I won't paint again for a few months. So I know people who use journals to keep track of their paint recipes, like what they highlighted with. I think that's super helpful. But anything, like any way that works for you to track your projects. Yeah. Like I'm a big journal person. I do journals for other stuff, like for myself. And I have a hobby journal here. See if I should dig it out. But I mostly use that to keep track of like, hey, where are my commissions at? That kind of stuff.
I'm not gonna
I've
lie.
put some.
I use
Go for it.
Instagram as a means to like my posts are just like all my work in progress is like I just want to remember how I'm doing this later on.
I was also going to suggest that I subsequently found that take a picture of your paint recipe, post it on Instagram, and you can go find it later. That's another way to do it.
I personally have a journal where I keep designs for like the designs for the wings I've been working on and stuff like that, so I can reproduce them.
Good.
Speaking difficult today.
Shit.
James Mahmood said about us complaining that we feel like watching Wallbjörn is robbing our courage to sculpt, and he said this is what normal people say about you guys.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's
Honestly,
nice.
if any normal person feels about me the way that I feel about Valbjörn, I am honored, because that's some black magic.
I've recently been having some of like my favorite hobby idols like liking my posts and sending me messages about how really like your stuff, and I'm like, bro, like you're so much better than me. I don't understand.
Just people. Just people.
Yeah,
True.
I also have a serious case of imposter syndrome each time I'm coming on here.
Oh, but here
But you're a
we were talking
regular.
about we all have to start somewhere. This is the first miniature I ever painted, or my first Warhammer miniature that I ever
We're
painted.
getting close.
A
Oh yeah.
Space Marine Devastator.
What's the chapter?
So funny story about that. It's hard to tell.
Ooh, he's glitzy. Look at the gold.
Discord's picking it up as a bit more blue, like blue than it is. It's actually more of. I painted this guy with the Hawk turquoise paint.
Oh,
And so
good paint.
little 10-year-old me decided that my custom Space Marine chapter would be called the Turquoise Hawks.
Nice.
And I still kind of want to revisit them one day, and then just do like a, with my current painting skills, do a new Space Marine Devastator with a multi-melta in that color scheme. Maybe even try and find
Multi-melta. Don't you want to get him a big
archaic,
obnoxious missile launcher?
Oh god, the Nerf launcher.
Nerf launcher.
Will is also showing off some classic
Yeah,
journals.
this isn't my first
Nice.
painted mini. I've
Oh
since
man, your
like
video's so
stripped
rough.
those, but this is. I want to say this was early oddies, so that I painted this guy up with. But man, look at that smiling face, and
I like
Yeah,
the red and black.
I do like the red and black too. Very,
oh, it's
very
red and
Moloch.
green.
Oh, it's green.
Oh dang.
Yeah, I'm getting some potato quality images here because my setup is rank and amateurish, but not fantastic. But also have got old grinny fix.
Oh, the grinny effects. The grinny effects has come back around for me. I'm like, I hated it so much. I hated it with a fiery passion. And now I'm kind of like, man, I kind of wish I'd gotten one of those grinny effects models.
I have a couple sitting in some boxes. I like everything. It's the same with the Hive Tyrant. I like everything about the model but the face.
Yeah, I think the face got like too much in my way of appreciating the rest of the model.
I love the legs and the torso especially. I forget what his name was, the guy that made the zone throps.
One above all.
Yeah,
Honestly, one above all, that was when it really hit home. I was like, I don't know, am I kind of like sad that I never got a grinny effects? And then one above all did his Zoanthrope Carnifexes, and I was like, damn it, I need that model. It's such a good model. So thank you, one above all. He's here sometimes.
Oh god, how does everything fit in here? Oh, hold on a second. This guy here is one of my oldest painted stuff, and I don't know what happened to the head, but this is definitely one of those OG plastic Termagants from 2nd edition.
Nice.
Yep. That
Funnily
was my
enough,
first Tyranid.
Funnily enough, nobody wanted to buy that when I was selling off my all my NID stuff back in the day.
Belle Surprise. Listen, my buddy Ross would have bought it off you. I think I've mentioned this before, but he did a bit of power gaming where he realized that the original Termagants were the smallest ones that you could possibly get. So he fielded all his Termagants as original 2nd edition plastic so that he could like cluster them in more and hide behind stuff.
Yeah, that's what you get with Wiswig gaming.
Does anyone want to talk about Tyranid rumors? Like we
Oh,
did the thing
yeah.
where Kajan and Will talked about the recent spat of Tyranid spate. I don't know, slate of Tyranid rumors. We never got DarthBob's take on any of it.
Eric Weir actually asked a question about that earlier in the chat, and
Sorry, who did?
Eric Weir.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
Eric Wire.
Asked.
Good to have you here, buddy.
Asked how we are feeling about the upcoming Adepticon stuff and reveals.
Oh, actually, Eric, thanks for asking a question. I'm going to use it as a plug. We're going to do a very late night stream. We're going to watch the Adepticon thing live, and I'm actually welcoming special guests for it, being the Brothers Wire.
Oh, nice.
I think Eric's going to join, Adam's going to join, and Greg might even join.
That's not
awesome.
So you can look forward to that very late next Wednesday. It's not a work in progress Wednesday day. That's the week we normally have the Creature Conference, but we'll be doing Adepticon. What do you folks think? Like, are you expecting Tyranids at Adepticon?
Yes.
Yes?
I think at this point, if there aren't Tyranids at Adepticon, people are going to be mad.
Kajan?
My opinion is still the same from your video, that I don't think it will be 10th edition stuff, but an Kill Team box that's going to go along with the Ark of Omen stuff.
Yep. Will?
I have a feeling that the 10th edition rumors of the box are probably going to hold true. So if that's the case, this seems, because this should be the last big convention tournament before, like, in theory, like the 10th edition release, right?
Yeah.
Well,
because Nova's comes up in like the fall.
Nova's always
So-
September.
no. So in the previous years, the new edition of 40K has launched in the summer, June-ish, June, July.
June.
And what I'm hearing is that the other big thing that's happening that everyone seems to forget about, myself included, because I don't live in the UK, Warhammer Fest is coming at the end of April. So people have said that the 10th edition is going to show up at, like, that preview is going to happen at Warhammer Fest, because there's all this stuff about the lion and like all those like Arcs of Omen cards and like
Yeah, I could
the
see
last
them
three were about
revealing
the
the
lion.
lion this weekend.
And we haven't even
instead.
seen the lion yet.
Based on the conversation with the post I did yesterday on your video about how it's not Space Hulk, you asked me what I thought it would be instead of Tyranids, and I said I think it's going to be Berserkers.
It's a chaos, right?
Yeah, chaos, especially Berserkers, because the Ark of Omen, we have Angron there. The next supplement pre-order is about this demon thing and the Soul Forge. And because we had this brief exchange yesterday, I went and looked up the dates when the new Necron models were released, and they were
tell me! I wanted to do this research. Thanks for looking that up.
There were the first Necron warriors, which ended up in the box, were revealed on the 23rd of May. And
Really?
And the 9th edition came out in June. So
July, I think.
they had it was June.
Because that was the
July.
first stream. The
What-
first stream was it the first stream I ever did? I did like a random stream where I had the Indomitus box.
End of
busted it
July.
open.
End of July.
Yeah.
It was. It was.
Yeah, it was July.
The earliest post I'm seeing here from 27th, which talks about this starter set reveals.
May 27th?
27th of July.
Oh, but you said that first preview of the
Yeah.
Necron Warrior was in May.
Yeah, the models itself were previewed earlier.
Yeah. Okay.
The Necron Warriors. I'm looking at a post of the Warhammer community from 23rd of May. So they were revealed prior, and that's why
So-
I think
That's about 2 months prior?
Yeah, something like that. So I
Okay,
think
so let's do some quick math. Because people have confirmed that Games Workshop is telling its employees that they cannot take vacation on the weekend of, I think it's June 24th or something like that. That no vacation is getting approved that date. So people have extrapolated that to think that that could be the release of something big, possibly 40K 10th edition. And if you were to take the Necron reveal 2 months before it was released, you could say that theoretically, if a 10th edition box set is being released on June 24th, then 2 months before would be the end of April.
yeah, and I think if we are not seeing Tyranid models being released on a large scale, I don't think we'll be seeing a 10th edition double feature box with Tyranids in them.
So here's my
Okay.
thing.
And
Yeah.
I think if they weren't showing Tyranids at Adepticon next week, they would not have revealed the Terminator and the Space
Yeah.
or the
yeah,
Tyranids this early.
yeah, but
I agree.
but my assumption is that we are going to tie this in with Arcs of Omen, with the whole boarding parties and stuff like that. So I think we'll be seeing a kill team type of box where they reintroduce elite choices, so you can play your Terminators in kill team again, and possibly something like the Lictor and the new stylized head might be the announcement of the plastic Lictor we've been hearing about so much, which I consider the only credible rumor we've been hearing so far.
I would agree
So-
with that if that didn't completely break with the way they've been previewing every other Arc of Omen release. Every other Arcs of Omen release, the tarot cards have been alluding to what the next big release is. We saw it with Farsight,
Yep.
we saw it with Angron, and now we're seeing it with what looks to be the Lion. I think if
Yeah.
Tyranids were going to be the next Arcs of Omen thing, we would have seen Arcs of Omen cards, tarot cards that were hinting at Tyranids. And we've just been seeing
Agreed.
Lion
Yeah,
stuff.
but I think the Lion makes for a better pull for the 10th edition box.
I think it's gonna be. I honestly think it's gonna have something to do with Dark Angels and Tyranids. I think we're gonna see a return to the monster hunting ways of Lionel Johnson, and he's gonna
That's
be
really
at the
cool. I didn't know
forefront.
that part of his fluff. Vargas was telling us about that. I didn't know that his fluff is that he's a monster hunter. That's really cool.
He is a monster that's hunting other monsters.
Yeah.
That's the best way you can put it. He's basically
He's a monster?
Yeah, he's basically Mowgli.
Oh.
He grew up in the depths of Caliban's forest, where he was an feral child that's been hunting monsters. Were found by a Night Order, by Luther, who brought him back to civilization and tried to clothe the monster in human skin, more or less. And
Oh, really?
ever
Interesting.
since he has at least the few Horus Heresy books I read were pretty much how the lion has an almost animal-like intelligence, is detached, he's like a caged animal and stuff like that. He's a primal hunter, and
That's kind of cool.
but clad in this veneer of being a knight.
Interesting. I like that. Makes me way more interested in him, the like primal hunter bit.
Yeah, and he was the one that hunted the last beasts of Caliban to extinction, basically. He was the driving force behind that, to reclaim the forest of Caliban for the people of Caliban.
Okay. Caliban and the Rock are different, right?
The
Rock
Rock
is
yes
the
and no.
biggest
piece.
beast that remains of Caliban.
Yeah, Caliban was
what
destroyed,
happened to Caliban?
and the Rock got blown up in the heresy.
Well,
dang.
Luther it was before the Horus Heresy books. We had the Angels of Darkness novel where you had Astalon be interrogated by as a fallen angel, and he was like, the real traitor was the lion, and the lion, you can't tell me that the biggest tactician of the empire would arrive too late to the siege of Terra, and it was always his plan to be late for that fight because he wanted to see how it turned out and basically join the winning side. And
Okay.
how Luther was the loyalist and who saw that the lion had plans to betray the emperor, and that's why the lion basically blew up his own planet to cover his shame. And then we had Horus Heresy books, which removed that to a large degree, where they showed without doubt that Luther fell to chaos, and that Astalon was one of the Space Marines that came with the Emperor. So these were not the Caliban Space Marines that were founded on Caliban, but those were the Terrans, and they had a shift between the old Space Marines, the First Legion, and those which were raised from Caliban, and the Lion trusted more his brethren from Caliban, and basically phased out all the Terrans. And he sent them all back to Caliban, where they had to train the next generations and stuff like that. And which didn't sit right with the Terrans, who considered themselves to be the only loyal Marines compared to the Calibanites.
Is this where like the Unforgiven or whatever come in?
Yeah, and in the end, Luther takes over Caliban. The Lion comes back to regroup and get his soldiers for the last fight for Terra, and basically he is forced to blow up his own planet to deal with the corruption that had taken root inside the planet. And what remains of it, the largest part of the planet, after he basically had an exterminatus on his own planet, is the Rock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the Unforgiven are basically the Dark Angels that sided with Luther during the Horus Heresy. And depending on your resource, they are either just fully drunk the Kool-Aid with chaos, or they believe that they are the loyalists and kind of side with Astalon and thinking that, oh yeah, it was actually the Lion who betrayed the Emperor and he was just trying to cover his tracks, and they believe they're the only loyal Dark Angels.
And that's also where Cypher comes in, where it's not quite sure what Cypher tries to accomplish. If he is really just on the way to Terra to present the blade, to ask for redemption, to say, Emperor, we always were loyal, or if he is fallen and tries to basically murder the Emperor. It's not quite
it's going to be
clear.
interesting when the Lion does come back. What is he going to do? Because there's some people speculating that, like,
Cypher?
That, or sorry, did I say Cypher? I meant the Lion.
Cypher, yes.
You said Cypher. You said what's he? I was asking if you're talking about Cypher.
Oh, no. When the Lion comes back, a lot of people are speculating that we'll finally get the answer to, like, where the Lion's loyalties really lie.
Yeah, we have to get them.
He's gonna be a good guy. They're gonna make him a good guy. Come on.
Probably. I think that's probably the case.
What's the boringest answer? He's a good guy.
But can you imagine?
The most boring answer would be the Lion comes back, sees what Gilliman has done, that Gilliman has heretic tech in his body, and basically pulled all the power to himself, and you have two empires remaining.
Yeah,
the loyalists led by Lion, and the new heretics led by Gilliman. on both
That'd be
sides
cool.
consider
fun.
himself.
That seems way too interesting for something they'd do.
Can
Yeah.
can we
I hope you're
just
right.
like talk about how much like nerd rage would exist if they decided to like bring back the line? He's like, "JK guys, we're actually chaos."
Yeah,
people get mad.
I could see. I don't think if he does end up being a bad guy, he's gonna be chaos. But I could totally see him being like some kind of rebel human faction,
Heretic.
whether by what Kajan's saying, and he's just like completely appalled at what Gilliman has turned the Imperium into, or if he was like always kind of planning on going off on his own. Because I don't think, if I recall correctly, I can't remember if it was a case where Astalan was really accusing the Lion of turning to chaos so much as he was accusing the Lion of going rebel.
Yeah, he accused him of going rebel and deciding which basically on who is going to win, which side they will pick.
Yeah, I
That's
think
basically
he
what
was
he.
just yeah, he was accusing him of being like an opportunist who was just like waiting to figure out who was going to win the heresy before he, decided to pick a side.
And what's an Astalan?
Astalan is
Never heard of that.
the first chapter not chapter master, first company leader of back when who sided with Luther, and he is
Okay.
basically high-ranking Terran space marines of old, and he was the
So
highest
I know we're
ranking.
not supposed to talk about Space Marines on this channel, but honestly, the only Space Marines I almost collected were Dark Angels.
Yeah, me too.
Well, it sounded like they may have some involvement with Tyranids this edition, so I guess it's kind of relevant in this case.
And
this is way back.
And I fully expect the Lion to go like Dawn and have his own little kingdom,
Yeah.
and not join the theocracy that's the empire right now. I don't think he will be doing that. Not based on what I've seen from the Horus Heresy books.
Oh yeah. I
It
totally
already
agree.
was a stretch to see Gilliman basically accept that everything his father stood for has been dragged through the dirt.
Yeah.
So
I'm interested to see if the Khan ever comes back, what he would think about what the
yeah.
Imperium's turned into. I'm not sure he would be a fan. I remember when I forget what edition they did, like the Fall of Kajan and everything, but I remember when that was coming out and they were like showing off the new Eldar people. There was the
I
one
think that was before 8th. I think that was the end of 7th.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
No, wait. No. Oh, damn.
It was
Because
8th edition. That was
definitely pre-8th.
yeah. It led into the 8th edition. Was
8th is when we got Primaris, right?
yes.
Yeah.
And
Death
Primaris
Guard.
came with the new Eldar faction, which has disappeared from the store.
But what about because we got the new what's his face? Cool Chaos dude model I love. Big guy,
Belacon?
claw. No. Terminator armor. Abaddon. Abaddon, whatever we call him.
Phalodon, the armless.
The new Abaddon model, because I ordered that to Adepticon in 2020, but I think it had been out for a while. Because when Abaddon came back, that was when it was the Fall of Cadia, wasn't it?
Sounds about right.
I think. No. We're in over our heads. Let's talk about Tyranids.
Chat has also a few things to say about this.
Yes, what is chat saying?
Tom Wilson said, I feel if they do the line, it will be the last release of 9th edition, not the start of 10th.
Yeah.
And he also said, I also wonder if the part work magazines could be an indicator for the release of the new edition.
Those are the Imperium magazines or whatever they call?
part work magazines?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
My computer crashed.
Yeah.
I thought it got a bit quiet.
Yeah, my computer. I was like in the middle of a thought. My
Slightly?
computer just freaked the hell out and it like crashed. I don't know
Wait,
what the heck
Bob's
that
We're
feed.
was.
back now.
Yeah,
Bob's feed kind of video feed kind of died out.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't even notice. I was too busy.
Yeah, I
Skyping.
think I
Okay,
had
he's
I
back
think
now.
I had like too many programs running in the
Yeah.
background. My computer was just like slow down.
Sorry,
I don't
chat.
know.
Kajan, what's going on?
Tom Wilson said wondered if the part work magazines could be an indicator for the release of the new edition.
Tell us more.
I have no idea what the part work magazines are. I don't think we have them over
Tom
here.
Wilson, tell us more.
And Robinette said, and probably when we talked about how the lion might be chaos, and then the surprise Demon Ross drop as Chaos Demon.
Yeah. Well,
Amazing. That'll
one
also
thing
anger
that
some
really
people.
like flew under the radar that like I've never really heard anybody talk about is the fact that like Korax is just kind of roaming around the warp as like this weird raven demon thing.
Yeah, but nobody talks about the Raven Guard. It's
Yeah, that's true.
Raven Guard is my second favorite chapter, and nobody ever talks about them.
That's just because they like I don't know. Alpha Legion just
Hey, I
kind
think
of does
Blitz
what they
Mechanica just
do,
joined
but
us.
also other things.
Blitz?
Yeah, and the Native American stuff doesn't help them much.
Hmm.
Do they have Native American stuff?
Yeah,
haven't seen that.
they are Native American. The whole mysticism behind that chapter is basically Native American crow and stuff like that.
What about Deathwing? Aren't they kind of like ripping
Yeah,
off
they
Native
also
American
have
stuff?
a Native American background, at least where the original Deathwing came from.
Yeah.
Based on the short story Deathwing. They painted their armor in bone colors because they were fighting a gene stealer infestation and were sure to be dead. And they decided to honor the last custom of their people. Basically, they all came from the same planet, and thus painted their armor ghost white because they were ghost walkers and walking through the land of the dead, basically.
But aren't they from Caliban?
No, those weren't from Caliban. That was
Okay.
after the heresy.
Oh, right.
And
Okay.
then they came back, and everybody was appalled about how they dishonored the Legion colors by painting their armor white. And in the end, the big council decided that in honor of their accomplishment to get back from a hopeless situation victorious, that from this point forward, Deathwing would be Bone Collar. If this
Fancy.
still is the lore behind Deathwing,
Lore?
I don't know, but this was the
Yeah.
short story Deathwing from the 90s.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to get back to something. Talking about Adepticon, what we expect to see at Adepticon. My own expectations are, despite what Eric put in the chat earlier, I don't expect to see any Tyranids at Adepticon. I would be pleasantly surprised to see Tyranids at Adepticon. Oh, we lost DarthBob again. Kajan, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, I expect that what we're going to see at Adepticon is just the lion, and I think that they were going to show us Dante as well until Dante dropped as a leak today.
Wait, Dante dropped?
Yeah, there's a leak. Go to check out Symbio Joe's story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that they're going to show us those guys. I think that if there's any Tyranids at all at Adepticon, that it'll just be like oh, and one more thing, here's a cheeky tease. But honestly, as DarthBob captured earlier, I was very shocked to see the Terminator eye with the the Tyranid eye with the Terminator in it, and the Terminator eye with the Tyranid in it. I was not expecting to see that before Adepticon. So that has kind of upended my expectations a little bit. And as DarthBob said, that why would they put those previews out now if they're not going to do anything with them at Adepticon? Like, couldn't those have been the one more thing that they show at Adepticon? Like at the very end, like, oh, here's a cheeky video. So maybe we'll see more Tyranids. Maybe I hope I'm wrong. I hope there's some Tyranids there.
But this is the reason why I think we're getting a Kill Team box, which is Arc of Omen related.
Oh, I also want to mention, Kajan, I think that what you're proposing is the most logical approach. And I'm surprised that like the rumors are pointing to that not being what Games Workshop is doing. It's like, why don't they do this? Like on that video that I made about like, oh, this isn't Space Hulk. People have commented, they're like, yeah, but like, wouldn't it make the most sense to have a Space Hulk box right after Arcs of Omen? I'm like, I fully agree. I 100% agree. The most rational thing to do would be a Space Hulk box off the back of Arcs of Omen. You're fighting in ships anyway. You want to get Terminators out. You want to get Tyranids out. Like, Space Hulk, do it. But for some reason, people are saying that's not happening.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
I don't think it will be happening. I think it makes more sense to simply incorporate Space Hulk into Kill Team. I mean, you don't need Space Hulk to play Kill Team, and that's basically the size of Kill Team. You just need new rules that allows you to play Terminator, one group of Terminator with 4 or 5 members. And that's all you need, and you can have Space Hulk.
Yep. Oh, and you were saying Chaos? I think Korn is done. Like, I think they did their Korn bit. I think that was like the earlier Arcs of Omen book. They already released all those models. I think they're done.
Didn't they just just today it was unleash the power of the Gore chosen with Barbarous new Blades of Korn Battalion, and I mean, sure, it's Age of Sigma, but I don't think
that's
they're
different.
done with Korn. I think, and
well, in 40K, I think that we've seen the full of the Korn release for this point. That's my belief.
Yeah, but as I said, when I looked into when did we see the Necrons that went into the start collecting box for the 9th edition? As I said, they were released prior, so that's why I'm not sure if we are not simply seeing all those berserkers and stuff being put to use.
The Necrons were not. Wait, you're talking about the Necrons in 9th edition?
Yeah, the new Necrons were revealed on May.
Yes, but they were not released. Like the Korn stuff's already released. It's on store shelves. You can buy it.
Okay.
You can get like Angron is out. Isn't that right? Isn't all the Korn stuff out?
I thought they were.
Yeah, they already had like the pre-orders and everything for it.
Yeah,
It was a few weeks
Angron
back.
is out. I was just at a Warhammer store the other day. They had a whole section with the Korn stuff.
Sorry, I'm just trying to read the signs.
The other thing with the Necron release that we also have to keep in mind is how much was their release schedule or reveal schedule shifted by the fact that all those images leaked of the Necrons before they were supposed to.
It did? Oh, I forgot that they leaked. Did they?
Yeah, there was like a bunch of blurry images of Necron stuff released before they did.
But it wouldn't be.
But that wasn't the 8th edition. Wasn't that other stuff? Wasn't that like once they'd already previewed the Warriors, we got the leak that had the like Kajan in it?
No, there was like
Titan?
hold on one sec. Let me see if I can find the image.
While DarthBob is looking those up, didn't all the Necron stuff also get rumor mill images?
I don't know that they did. There might have been some.
But we haven't really seen any Tyranid stuff that wasn't the Parasite.
Yeah, I think that with the Tyranid stuff, it's maybe too obvious. You put a Tyranid in the rumor mill. But I don't know. That's a good point. But also the rumor mill's been like previewing like really recent like stuff that's coming out like the next week. Like there was a couple of instances lately where they're like, oh, here's something in the rumor thing, and then they reveal it to you like the following Saturday. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Blitz Mechanical just joined us a couple moments ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was this blurry image of the Necron stuff that leaked back in March of 2020-ish, or like late February of
How you
2020.
keeping track of this stuff, man?
Because I remember messaging my buddy in our hobby Discord about it. So I just like
Smart.
looked up leak and then kind of scrolled back to around when they came out. But yeah, and then
Smart.
shortly after that came out, GW released a cheeky post that had a non-blurry version of that image
Tail of
that
that
had a
mountain.
bunch of like arrows pointing to them that like says like, "What's that?
Oh, I think I
can't
did
believe that. Look at that thing."
I did a video with Necron Nick about that.
Yeah. So like I don't think that was intended to leak. And I think that
No.
may have pushed their reveal schedule timetable up a bit.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have pushed their release schedule. It would have just pushed
No,
it.
I don't think it pushed the release schedule. I think it was just the
Gotcha.
like the reveals.
Yep.
Well,
Am I
I
losing
guess we'll
audio
find out.
from Bob?
Say
What's
again?
that?
I'm like losing some audio or something.
You're losing audio?
I don't know. That arm just like gone crazy. I don't know.
Bob's a little muffled, and I thought I
Am I
turned up his
muffled?
audio in OBS. Oh, but you might be getting it on Discord.
Is it okay now?
It's kind of the same.
Huh. Weird.
Not like bad, but there's some mufflage there.
Oh, is it different now?
It got a little better.
Interesting. I wonder if it's taking my webcam audio instead of my microphone.
So yeah, I hope to be pleasantly surprised by Tyranids at Adepticon. But
Is
I've
it
been
any different
disappointed
now?
before. Oh my god, world's better. Holy cow.
Okay.
So much better. Yeah, that's the mic you should be using.
Yeah, I think it was accidentally using my webcam mic instead of my
Dude, I do this all the
headset.
time. I record videos and I'm like, why does my audio sound so crap? Oh, you're using my webcam mic. Thank you so much.
Stupid Discord.
Oh man, I'm not getting Bob through at all through Discord right now.
You can't hear him?
I can
No.
hear him.
Oh,
Huh.
that's weird.
Hold on a second. Let's see if disconnecting, reconnecting works.
Turn it off, turn it back on again.
All right.
What about people in the chat? What are you expecting for Adepticon? Tell us your expectations, your thoughts, your opinions. I want to hear them all. Let us know in the chat.
Tom Wilson answered about the Partworks magazine.
Yes?
What I mean is that there has been 2 Hatchet Partwork magazines, and ninth came out sometime after the first one ended. I don't know if the first Imperium has ended yet or not. Imperium magazine ending could indicate the coming of 10th edition.
Ah,
Oh, interesting.
that's a good point. Yeah, because that was the one where it had the Necrons and Space Marines, and they like gave you this kits for cheap.
Oh,
They basically took the
cheap
like
Tyranid
multi
bits,
parts.
please.
That'd be great. But we can't. Can you guys get that in the States? We can't get that magazine in Canada.
I've never seen it.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. I think it is. Damn, it's unfortunate.
I know it recently came to Japan because my brother's been buying them up.
We are not getting them in Germany either. There was recently a short run of a magazine which contained Necrons and Space Marines, but it also was hard to come by around here.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the Imperium. That's the Partworks thing.
I managed to grab the first edition of that, and then nobody else carried it.
My brother's been raking them in because no one in Japan, like there's fewer gamers in Japan, and they have them in like really random stores where like the gamers don't necessarily go. So he's like scoped out all the stores, and he knows like because they've all released in the UK, people have made like cheat sheets like, oh, here's the ones that you get the best deals on. Like this issue, this issue, this issue, you're gonna get like a really expensive model for cheap. So yeah, he's like planned it all out,
What do we
taking
think?
advantage of it.
What do we think?
It's looking good.
What?
Back plates,
Oh, cool.
little friend. I decided not to do feeder tendrils in the mouth. So I think I talked about it. The lore for this guy that I came up with is that it's some kind of mimic organism that mimics human speech in order to attract
that was
like
creepy.
prey. So I thought it would
Yeah.
be interesting to do like some kind of weird mouth part inside the skull mouth. Plus, I think it's just kind of creepy on its own
I actually
without
kind of
Yes.
like
feeder
how them.
tendrils.
I kind of like how like it just kind of is like these weird ganglion kind of like mouthpieces right now.
Mhm. I was
Okay,
thinking some
Will,
kind
now
of like
your audio is
ribbing.
weird.
Wait, what was that?
Now your audio is like not as clear, kind of muffled. Maybe Discord is picking a random mic for you.
Let me see.
Man, this is the shit show you come for. This is the fifth member business right here.
The Tyranids must be getting
we're
close
getting.
because the shadow and the warp is affecting our
Oh,
communications.
I love it. I love it. Perfect. Okay, with that, I think I got to wrap this up soon. I told Nora that I'd be done at 9:30. It's now
Alrighty.
9:33. Do we get anything in the chat, Kajan, about people's predictions for Adepticon?
Not really. Just Tom Wilson also said that the teaser it might be for a Space Marine game. For
that would be
Death Strike
sad.
game, which also releases sometime soon, I believe.
I
Space
thought it was
Marine.
November. Because they had that like collector's edition box. And I thought they said it was coming out in November. Am I wrong?
So far,
That may be
I'm-
right. I'm not sure.
So far, I'm only seeing that it will be releasing sometime this year. Towards the
Yeah.
end of this year. Okay.
The only
Yeah.
reason I don't think it's only something for the Space Marine game is because I feel like it wouldn't be a Terminator. If it was like just a regular power armored Marine in the Marine side of the
Yeah.
preview, I feel like a Terminator is too specific, and there's already been like new plastic Terminator rumors floating around. I feel like this has got to be a miniature thing.
I think if you wanted to pick the thing that would make me the most sad, it would be all of this just leading up to this damn Space Marine game. That would
Yeah.
make me sad.
I mean, if you're looking at the collector's edition for the game, there is a bust in there of a Space Marine, Primaris Marine
Killing a gaunt?
hacking apart Tyranid. Just
Yeah.
posted it in the chat.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Okay. Whoa, Will. Even on your potato cam, that looks damn good.
Oh, that looks sick.
Oh, that one is total potato. I can't.
Yeah, it's-
First one we can make out.
You got to post
Oh,
some
because it's lighter,
pics
right?
in the Discord.
yeah. I'll post them up after. Also, I think when I kind of signed out and like signed back in, it decided to try to use the mic on my camera as opposed to my headset that I'm wearing.
Yep,
That's what happened to DarthBob. That's what happened to me too.
Stupid computers.
Stupid computers think they're smarter than us.
Careful, they could be ruling the world one day. Be nice to them.
Not one day, sometime soon.
Yeah, sometime soon.
Any day now is the word you're looking for. Any day now.
If the future documentary Cyberpunk 2077 has anything to say about it,
And I
Hey,
would,
someone made a point that apparently that is an alternate timeline where there was nuclear war in the 80s, and that's why everything's
Yes.
so advanced.
saw that.
I would like to go on record now and say, if I for one welcome our new AI overlords.
Oh, also, moment of silence for your poor Forge World Venom Canyon.
That is a
Hey, I think it's
lovely
even
Venom
better now that
cannon.
it's got this cool little bayonet. This is a Zoanthrope Talon, and they are my new favorite bits. I also gave this Tyrant mandibles, and he is like 15 times cooler with Zoanthrope Talon mandibles.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go for the retro tyrant, it's got to have the mandibles.
I had left them off for a while, and I was remiss. I'd messed up, but I fixed it now.
Yes. Actually, that bayonet does look pretty cool.
I do enjoy it.
Those are from the Zoanthropes? No kidding.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't sleep on these bits. Bargeist is the one who introduced me to them, who made me realize that how wicked they are. They're the little like atrophy scything talons that people just like glue on and forget about.
I feel like that entire kit is made of bits that I would love more of, but then I realize how much that box cost, and I was like, ah.
Yes. Just went up in price too.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything's gone up
remind
in
me.
price.
Yeah.
I should post up those like little sketches I've done of those like sort of psychic,
Dude, why don't you post these on your Instagram too?
because I keep
Like,
forgetting.
I love that you
about
share
it.
them in the Discord, but huh?
Because I keep forgetting to.
You should definitely post your sketches on Instagram because your sketches are shit hot.
Yeah, I feel like you never post your sketches, and your sketches are incredible, man.
I feel like that last idea is one that I kind of want to pursue, and that's just like, well, I do have I think a spare tyrant lying around, so now I need to source a bunch of those neurothrope spines.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be maybe a bit challenging. Might as well just buy the boxes. You want all those bits anyway.
Yeah. Or I might figure out a way to somehow replicate it in some manner or another.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Well, if you need a spare Tyrant torso, Hive Delta might be able to help. He seems pretty busy these days. What's going on?
That one I'm actually okay on, weirdly enough. I think I picked up one of those combat patrol boxes or whatever, like the older ones.
With 1,000 termagants in it? God, I hope not.
That or I got or a tyrant just like relatively on the cheap somehow. I'm pretty sure I have
Nice.
like 2 complete tyrants lying around somewhere in my shelves. And
I miss the
oh,
old
man.
Start Collecting box.
No.
It was so good. And then we got the shitty one with the Trigon.
Yeah.
Was it Trigon and a bunch of Gene Stealers?
Trigon, Gene Stealers, and a Broodlord.
I mean, I love me a Trigon, but I do not need any more Gene Stealers. I way overbought those.
Yeah.
Because they were in some other Start Collecting box that I bought a bunch of.
Yeah, the first one was the warrior. It was 3 warriors, gargoyles, and a Hive Tyrant.
That was actually a really good box set.
That was a great box. I love that box.
It was
Fred,
hard to
that
find
is
that
a
one
good
for a
box.
while.
I didn't get that one. Did I
Yeah,
get
it
that
was
one?
it was a really good one. It was only like what, 75, 80 bucks, something like that.
Yeah, I think
85 bucks maybe.
I think I bought one of those like right before they stopped. They changed it up, mostly because I think that was like the period where like you could not, for the life of you, pick up a box of Tyranid Warriors anywhere.
Or a Carnifex.
Oh.
The Carnifex was out of stock for like
Ugh.
4 months.
I think it was longer, man.
Yeah, you're probably
like 4
right. It
years.
probably was. The model's like been
Again, I
impossible to find.
stockpiled them when they were in like those. There was that box that had a Carnifex in it, and I think it had Warriors. And then I don't know. I bought a mint of those.
When did they start doubling up the Carnifex boxes?
That was after I stopped buying Carnifexes because I already had way too many.
I think it was at the start of 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying because I was getting back into the hobby, and I had like previously gotten rid of all of my old like plastics pretty much, and it was like, why can't I get this in singles?
Because
And then,
money.
And then somebody local apparently had 4 Carnifexes that he sold me for like really cheap. And I'm like, I can't not buy these right now. And
Cheaper is better.
And they are sitting on my bookshelf, waiting to have something happen to them. So,
Well, you'll have some new bits soon, hopefully.
yeah, I
Sure.
actually
Get your
kind
mix
of
with them.
want to get that boarding patrol box to a certain extent, just because price wise, it's a steal.
Yeah.
Like it's,
But
well,
isn't
at
it
least,
more gene stealers? Don't you have 1,000 gene stealers like me?
I mean, yeah, but like gene stealers are like easy enough to just kind of chuck in as like, I don't know, just filler base material. I
Just tired of their bits. It's so long.
yeah, but
I mean, their claws are useful for like mandibles and stuff. Like I put the what did I sculpt? The bayonets on this death spitter. Totally stole this idea from Hydra, by the way. These are gene stealer thumb claws.
Oh,
With
I
on
was
there.
wondering what bits those were. I thought they looked
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Okay, that's cute.
They're the only useful bits in a gene stealer box.
Well, if
It's
you
got
ever
way too many of them.
if you ever start up like a Space Marine army, just litter every single base with gene stealers.
Good point.
All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up for this
Damn,
evening.
I said I had to go, but I need to finish this putty. Thank you, DarthBob.
Yes, I
Glad you
think
can make it.
I'm gonna wrap it up. It was great joining in on another Work in Progress Wednesday, and because I don't believe it's been mentioned thus far, if you guys are enjoying the stream and would like to see more as well as the Creature
Nice.
Conference, be sure to comment,
Good
like,
man.
and subscribe to
Thank
get
you.
more Tyranid and randomness goodies. Oh, also hit the bell button.
Wait. Before you go, I have something to share with only the super fans who actually came to Work in Progress Wednesday.
Oh.
So anyone who's still here, hold on to your butts.
What held?
Make sure
Holding.
you're not going to see this on you're not going to see it on Discord. So have you guys got your YouTube open?
Yeah,
I do.
All right, make sure you got your YouTube open. Make sure you mute your mics and turn on your YouTube sound, because this is going to be fancy. Let me know when you're ready.
ready.
Okay, muting.
Folks in
muting
YouTube
mic.
land, you're going to see this video cut out. You're going to see a countdown. It's going to be great. Everybody ready? Will, you ready? Kajan?
Yep.
DarthBob?
I'm ready, but I muted my mic.
You told
You're ready,
people
but
to
what?
mute
Oh,
your
mute your
mic.
mic. Oh, good man. Okay, yeah. Yeah, mute your mics. Okay, ready? Here we go. I gotta wait for all you to come back because you're all delayed.
Aw, look at that intro.
How about that?
That was pretty sweet.
That's what you've been working on.
Hey, that was really cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That was pretty neat.
Can anyone guess who made that Screamer Killer? We know who's good at everything. Absolutely
Box?
everything. Damn right, it's Box. Oh, I've got an outro that does the credits for everyone. So the Box animated that Screamer Killer. And then Red Wet Skeleton, Eli, did the music for it. And we've actually been working on it for a while now, but there was Box made some music for it, and it was like hardcore, like badass, like face smashing music. But I was like, oh, I don't know, man, this might get annoying to play like every week. So I worked with Eli on some new music for it and just got it in recently. So that will be premiering on the Creature Conference next week for
Nice.
the first time.
Nice.
But I know none of the Creature Conference guys ever watch Work in Progress Wednesday, so it's still going to be a surprise for them.
Yeah. We need to get a work in
Yeah, but I wanted
progress
to-
Wednesday intro now.
Okay, did you know how long that took?
Just
That was supposed to premiere in November.
I'll
just
put
edit.
something together in like Microsoft Movie Studios or something.
PowerPoint? You
I
do
mean,
it, man.
I can definitely string together something in MS Paint to just go like burr, 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 burr.
I love it.
Chat is
It's
also-
time for Work in Progress Wednesday, but I am the child. Okay, have a nap. Then starts the Work in Progress Wednesday.
Chat is also
Anyway, that was the
logging
final thing that I wanted to make sure I shared with everyone. Thank you all for hanging out, joining us for Work in Progress Wednesday, hanging around till the end. I wanted to have that little Easter egg for anyone who hung around to the end. If you've enjoyed this, as DarthBob said, please like and subscribe to my channel to get notified when we have future streams. We stream Work in Progress Wednesday every other week on Wednesday nights at this time. So usually starts at 7:30 Eastern, Vampire o'clock in Germany. What time does this start for you, Kajan? Normally
1:30 a.m.
1:30 a.m. if you're in Germany. Well, I know that like Diana and Tom are in the UK, so it's also Vampire o'clock for them. But yeah, thank you all for joining. We do this every other Wednesday, and then on alternate weeks we have Creature Conference on Fridays. So every week there's a stream. Next week you're going to have 2 streams. You're going to be lucky. We're going to do a Wednesday night late night stream from Adepticon. It's very late. I don't expect anyone from Europe to tune in. But it'll be recorded. You can see it after, see what we think about the previews. And then we'll have the Creature Conference on the Friday. And then I'll talk to all you folks about what you thought about Adepticon the following week. So look forward to that.
Yay.
Nice.
I'm looking forward
So
to
thanks, gents.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good week. Happy hobby. And we'll talk to you soon.
Alrighty.
Bye.
it. Bye.
Thanks for joining,
Night,
guys.
guys.
Bye.